So I'm gonna go ahead and fill in my eyebrows. Today the product I'm gonna use is from Buttercup Cosmetics. It's their matte waterproof brow set. This is what the tool looks like, and then all the product is in here. And then I'm just gonna sweep some of the product away with the spoolie. Alright, so now I'm going to grab my MAC Pro Longwear Concealer, and I use this to clean up my under eye and to also use as a primer for my eyelids. And this is in the color NW30. Now I'm just going to take a white shade from any one of my palettes that I have, a fluffy brush, and set it. Alright, so today I'm going to start off with the Anastasia Subculture palette, and the color I'm going to start off with is this yellow shade. I think it's called Edge, yeah. This yellow shade is called Edge. Now this palette, the consistency is very different, so instead of fluffing the color in and like really using broad strokes to place your color, you actually have to dip into the palette and then press the color into the space that you want it to go, and then you have to feather out the edges. This palette is just weird like that, where you can't just go in broad sweeping motions and apply your color. You have to actually just pat it in. So now with a slightly smaller brush, this brush is from e.l.f. This brush is a eye crease brush. I'm going to go into my Urban Decay electric palette, and I'm going to grab this color called Slow Burn and apply that just above my crease. And now with the same brush, I'm going to go back into the Anastasia Subculture palette, and I'm going to grab this color called Fudge. So now I'm going to take that same matte concealer, the same brush that I used initially, and I'm going to do a cut crease, and I'm going to do it above my crease. And I'm sketching it out while my eye is open so I know where it needs to go.
The real deep down you is the whole universe.
And I'm just going to take a white shade to set that. So for my lid color, I am going to go into the Carli Bybel Deluxe palette. I'm going to grab this shade right here. It's like a peachy shimmer, but it has like purple reflex in it. It's really pretty. So now I'm going to go back into the Subculture palette. I'm going to grab that Fudge shade and add it to my outer V. I'm going to go into my Chocolate Bar Semi-Sweet palette and go ahead and grab the shade Licorice and add it to the outer V. A smaller brush to just fade out that black licorice color, because I do want to fade it, but I don't want to lose the intensity, and I don't want to muddy the other colors I've already placed down. So I'm literally positioning my brush so I can only affect the edges of this black color. Okay, so now I'm going to start working on my face. I will do my liner, my lashes, and my under eye eyeshadows after I finish this part. So the concealers that I always use are the ColorPop No Filter concealers, and I do have them in 2 shades. The shades that I'm in is Deep Golden and Golden. I was a little disappointed when these came out. I think they only launched about 11 or 12 shades, and out of those 11 or 12 shades, for those of us with melanin and deep complexions, there were only 3 shades that could work for us. So that was very disappointing, whereas our non-melanated counterparts had 7 or 8 shades to choose from. We had to deal with 3. So the shades that I have are Deep Golden and Golden. So the Deep Golden shade is very close to my own skin tone, so I really just use this to conceal fine lines in areas that I have problems in. This is nothing more than just water, and I'm going to use my Real Techniques Beauty Blender. It is dirty, so please don't come for me. I will clean it soon. Alright, so now that that's pretty much blended in, I'm going to go ahead and use the Golden shade. And I'm just going to blend it right into that Deep Golden. So then I'm going to go back to my Real Techniques brush. This is the brush that I use for my foundation. Obviously this has a little bit of residual foundation on it, so this will be perfect for me to go ahead and smooth out the harsh lines that I have been placed there by the highlight shades. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and set all those highlighted areas. So for my setting powder, I use a combination of 2 powders. I use the Sacha powder in Buttercup, and then I also use the Zahara Cosmetics in Banana powder. So I mixed the 2 of them. This is a mixture of the 2 of them into 1 container, and I go ahead and grab my Real Techniques mini sponge to apply it. And I forgot to do it with this eye, but make sure you smooth out those fine lines under your eye where the concealer has settled before you set it. And I don't bake, I just go right ahead and dust this powder off right away. So next I'm going to grab my Black Up Cosmetics, and this is their contouring powder kit. I do have this in the color number 2, and I am going to be using this brown shade. Blush I'm going to use today is 2 different blushes. The first is going to be the Milani Coral Cove, and it looks like this. You can get this from your local beauty supply store. Excuse me, you can get this from your local drugstore. I'm saying beauty supply store. This brush is from the Wish app. I did get a set of brushes from them for like $6. The next blush color I'm going to use is Wet n Wild. It is called Mellow Wine. And I'm going to grab my blush brush, and this is by e.l.f. So now I'm going to go back to my under eye. I'm going to apply the same shades that I applied at the top to my lower lash line. Now I'm going to go ahead and apply my eyeliner, my mascara, and go ahead and do my lashes.